Time for me to play the Where the Fuck Have I Been game. Let's see, last time you guys saw me, I was still living in Boston, I was engaged to be married, and I was going out of my fucking mind as a pre-K teacher. Yeah, it's safe to say a lot has changed since then. I got married by some beautiful miracle. Everything came together. I had a wonderful wedding, absolutely great honeymoon. I've been married for about a year now, which is also an absolute miracle in and of itself. I am shocked that I haven't killed my husband with a shovel yet, but that's very much for another time. I also moved away from Boston, so I guess it's a bit of a misnomer that I call myself that Boston chick, because I'm really that New Hampshire chick now. But I have no plans on ever changing my YouTube name. I'm that Boston chick. I'm Bostonian at heart. You could move me off to fucking Bolivia, and I'm still a Bostonian in my mind and in my heart. I'm still ordering my beers and going to the pharmacy and wondering what the fuck is wrong with you, kid. Let's see what else happened. I have a brand new job. I don't work in Boston anymore. I wrote a book. I completely finished the manuscript. I went on an agency hunt for about a year. Absolutely, positively no fucking luck. So what I'm actually doing right now is I'm going through the editing process to publish my own book as an ebook format, because that's the beauty of the internet. That's the beauty of social media. We are no longer dictated by companies who say, well, we'll get your product out to the masses for you. The internet does that for free. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm hoping for about a December release date. It's a surprisingly long journey to edit your book into perfection and create cover art that you like and write a dust jacket that you like and everything. There's so many little details that I really wasn't even considering when I decided to self-publish. But let's go back in time now. Let's go back to about January, February of 2011, because that's about the last time you heard from me. At that point, I was engaged to be married. I was working full-time. I was taking classes at night. I was going out of my mind. And I have to admit, I completely gave up on the idea of YouTube around April, which is when things hit critical mass for everything. And I'm actually being pretty professional here when I say things hit critical mass. What I should be saying is that all the collective shits from all the different things that were going on in my life at that time all decided to come together and collectively hit the fan all at once. From the job aspect, I had all these progress reports that were due. And not only progress reports, but these forms I needed to fill out because all my kids were graduating and going off to public kindergarten. From the class view, I had final projects to do. I had final exams to study for. Finals week was only like 3 weeks away. From the moving standpoint, we were beginning to pack. We were apartment searching. We were looking for a brand new place to move. And by the way, just in case I haven't said it yet, we moved basically before and after my wedding. Between 2 weeks before my wedding and about 1 day after my wedding. And I'm not kidding there. We closed out our apartment 1 week before I went off to my honeymoon. We had one free day between my wedding and my honeymoon, and we went down and closed out our apartment because our lease was going to expire while we were off on our honeymoon. So we had that shit going on. I had all these modeling gigs, which was awesome on one hand because it meant that I was getting work and I was having fun being a model, but it decided to all come in April. So I was already going out of my mind with all these different things going on, and now all of a sudden I'm like, hey, runway gig, awesome, sweet, I'll try not to fall asleep on the runway. Okay, and of course, let's not forget the actual wedding. Things definitely hit critical mass in April. As anyone who's about two and a half months out from their wedding can tell you, everything needed to be confirmed. Payments needed to start to be processed. My invitations went out. And of course, the crown jewel of just absolute stress on the cake wedding planning, I had one of my bridesmaids drop out 2.5 months before my wedding, which honestly I should have expected because she gave me absolute hell from the moment I told her I was engaged onwards, but that is very much for another day. So as you can see, I had a lot of stuff going on. So much that I'm fumbling over my words and creating new words because I was about to say frumbling. And you know what? Shakespeare made his words. I'm going to make my words too. Let's do it. The best part too was actually the job that I have now. I applied for 3 weeks before my wedding, 2 weeks before I moved. Because I'm a masochist, and I decided that with the 30 seconds of free time I had in May, I should job search. I should apply for a job. And there was a substitute teaching position in New Hampshire, actually at a school that was like right down the street from where we were going to live. So I applied. I had a phone interview. I drove my ass all the way up to New Hampshire to have an in-person interview. I got the job. I started 1 week after my honeymoon. I don't know if you're getting it yet, but my life is just perpetual fast-paced. There is no slow down button in the great scheme of Abby's life. And thankfully, I'm done being a substitute teacher. That was honestly the most stressful thing I've ever done in my entire life. I would rather be on welfare than be a substitute teacher again. But I'm now a early childhood specialist, I guess you could say. I work with 1-year-olds. I love them. Oh, I love them so much. It's a wonderful break from pre-K, I must admit. You know, a 1-year-old might be crying her head off because her diaper's wet, but she's not screaming no at your face. She's not threatening to call the cops because you told her to clean up her Barbies from dress up. So it's really nice. They're very sweet. That is probably the sweetest age that kids get. They're a year old, so they're old enough that they understand their shit. They're no longer like screaming out of their minds just because they're a little bit hungry. But at the same time, they haven't hit terrible twos yet. So they're having fun and they're playing, and they don't realize that they can say no to the teacher and do things even though the teacher told them not to. So I love it. I love my job. I love my coworkers. It's a good place to be. So that's basically everything that's gone on in the year and a half that I've been gone. And I genuinely want to keep up the vlogs. It is just so much easier for me to put up photo booth and talk into my Mac, and just say whatever's on my mind, because there's a lot of fucking shit on my mind, if you can't tell by the complete scatterbrained nature of this vlog. And it's so much easier than setting up my camera and finding my tripod, which is broken at this point, but that's for another time. And you know, creating a somewhat of a script and creating a bit of a story and editing and trying to do visual effects, which, as you can tell from the few videos I've done with like split screens and green screens, I don't know what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, but really, I hope to make more videos in the future. I want to keep this up. I also started a crafts blog, a crafts writing photography curriculum. It's a clusterfuck of stuff. If you want to check out, I'm going to just leave all the links to all my various website things going on, my Twitter, my modeling page, my blog, and hopefully more awesome stuff will be coming out. The possibilities are endless, but my battery life is very much limited, so I'm going to end this now. Thank you for listening to me as long as you have, and I'll see you guys later.